Hey y'all, hey. So I'm back. So again, sorry that I've been gone for a while. Obviously, I'm a new mama, but I think I'm finally like in my nice little groove. So my goal of this year, I keep saying this every time I have YouTube, but now that I really feel like I have everything I need for my YouTube, I have my setup, I have my I've always wanted one of these colorful mics. I have one. All I really need to do is get my green screen and I'm good. I am going to promise y'all, this is my dedication. My dedication is to attempt for the first month to at least do one damn video a week. I don't know what that video will be, but I am going to hold myself to one video a week. And from there, we're going to uptick it to two, and then we're going to uptick it to three, and then we're going to uptick it to hopefully at least one a damn day, Monday through Friday, or like at least maybe 4 to 5 in a week. But I can only I'm trying to give myself small milestones, right? So, one of the things I want to start doing again, like I've always been consistent on, is the Real Housewives, at least with Beverly Hills in particular. I know it's coming towards the end, but I really want to get back into doing my reviews. I really do. So, thank y'all for being patient with me. I appreciate that. So, I'm here because honestly, this weekend, I was sick as hell, y'all. I was like sick as a dog. So, all I really had time to do was lay in bed and catch up on all of the housewives. I'm talking about all of them. So, normally, I try to do an individual review for like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but I have a lot to say, not a lot, but I have something to say about all of the ones that I watch. So I'm going to take this time to pretty much, it's kind of like a Housewives review, like across the board. So the ones that I watch are the Real Housewives of Miami, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I don't watch the Real Housewives of Potomac at all. So we're going to start with the one I don't kind of fuck with the most, and we're just gonna kind of go up. So let's really fast. Real Housewives of Potomac. I do not watch that show anymore. I refuse to watch a show that is constantly playing on colorism and playing in our faces as the black ass viewers like we don't know what we're seeing. I'm not understand now, mind you, I haven't even watched this season other than maybe like the first two episodes, but I've seen enough clips. I'm not, and from my understanding, this season y'all are trying to pretty much blackball and ice Candace out. And I find it really interesting, Andy Bravo and everybody else, how Candace is trying to be iced out when it should be Robin. Robin is the one who took her light skinned ass, and instead of doing what her job is, which is being a reality TV star and telling the truth of what it is on the show, she took everything that was going on with her and Juan, and instead of addressing it on the show or on a reunion, she went behind a nobody was paying for ass paywall to say what she needed to say. But some reason, somehow, she was given grace, and now all of a sudden she's the victim this season, and all of a sudden Candace needs to be iced out. Because from what I understand and what I get, it seems like y'all are trying to push Wendy and Candace off this show from everything I'm seeing. And I think that's really freaking interesting when Robin is the one who absolutely needs to be kicked off of this show. She don't bring anything. And the fact that as a housewife, she was able to do what she did last season as far as as far as not bring her issues to the forefront and do it behind the damn paywall, and you, Bravo Andy, let that shit happen, and she's still on this show. Let me get this right. And people bring this up. This is a great point. So let me get this right. Kenya Moore didn't want to have you guys film her wedding. And she didn't really want to talk about her husband. And she didn't really want to talk about her child. And y'all pretty much kicked her off for that season because of that. Why is it that Kenya was kicked off of the show and penalized for that? But Robin gets to do the same thing, except worse, because you just straight up lied pretty much. And you get to come back the next season? We're not going to play these games, Bravo Andy. And I'm telling you right now, you kick Wendy and Candace off, that's the end of your show. You kick any of them off, that's the end of your show. And I see you're trying to bring in this new doctor to try to replace Wendy. We see it for what it is, and we're not here for it. I'm not talking about Potomac no more. They're trash now. Potomac is trash. Trash. I don't understand how y'all went from being like the best one out of all of them to now the trash ass bottom. Terrible. What else we got? Real Housewives of Miami. I love Real Housewives of Miami. To me, Real Housewives of Miami is one of the top cities in this franchise. I think it's one of the best ones. What do I have to say about them this season? Alexia, you can tell, well, up until this most recent episode, okay? It seemed like the majority of this season so far, Alexia was being really, really nice. You want to know why? Because she had to rehabilitate her pretty much personality and her rep from last season. Because last season, she was acting a damn fool. So the majority of this season, she been playing cool, calm, and collected. She been cool. She been trying to get along with everybody, all of this stuff. But now that we have that little Mother's Day brunch that happened, she been showing her hand. That's the Alexia that we know. That's the real Alexia, the one that we saw. And what I'm not getting, and I hope I tweeted this, I hope that Alexia and Marisol feel so damn stupid watching this back, realizing that Adriana was the one who wanted to really bring Anna, although Dr. Nicole told y'all that. So what I don't get is, I see that for the next episode, y'all don't invite Dr. Nicole, but you do invite Adriana. Now see, if y'all wouldn't, if y'all didn't invite Dr. Nicole and Adriana, I would be like, okay, I still don't agree with Dr. Nicole, but it would be fair. How is it that Dr. Nicole told you that Adriana was the one who wanted to bring Anna? She said that. And in y'all confessionals, at first y'all said, I think it's Dr. Nicole and Adriana and Anna conspiring together. But for some reason, only Dr. Nicole was not invited to that little lunch that I see. I want to understand why that is. And why was Adriana invited? Why? I hope y'all feel stupid. I really do. I hope y'all feel stupid. Gertie, God bless Gertie's heart. There's no way I would be around these females going through what it is that I was going through. Adriana, you're messy as hell. And for you to try to, a lot of the stuff that Adriana say about Alexia and Marisol is facts. But them last couple of episodes, like why am I losing my mind right now? When Julia tried to confront you and say you were wrong for that whole situation with Anna because you was, and because Dr. Nicole got the shit under the stick and got blamed for it, you got up and you left, acting just like the people that you claim you don't like. Because a couple episodes prior, or the episode prior, however many episodes it was before, Marisol felt some type of way about the fact that somebody went to dinner with her ex. I can't even remember who it was, but somebody went to dinner with her ex and she got in her feelings about it. And Alexia was saying, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. And Marisol pretty much snapped on her because of the fact that she was not taking her side. And that's what you did with Julia. Although Julia was absolutely right, you got mad because she wasn't kissing your ass. The same reason you don't like Marisol and Alexia, because you feel like they kiss each other's ass. But now you want Julia to tell you everything you want to hear? Absolutely not. Get the hell out of my face. Dr. Nicole, you're perfect. You're everything. I want to be like you when I grow up. Larsa, you're trash as hell for telling Gertie's business. I hope that Gertie drags the fuck out of you during the reunion because you was trash for telling her business. I'm tired of you and Marcus Jordan being on my screen. I think y'all relationship is full of shit. I don't understand it. I think it's trifling. I think y'all both are trifling and I don't like it. I wonder how y'all kids feel about it. I mean, how her kids feel about it. They're probably disgusted with her, but who wouldn't be disgusted with Larsa as a mom? I could only imagine the way her daughter thinks. My God in heaven above. And Lisa, I felt a little for you throughout. Like, I felt for you with the whole situation with Lenny. But the way you're acting now, I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm not here for it. I don't appreciate the way that you be acting. It makes me sick. And the fact that you have this man, and he sat at dinner and told you, I would like if you checked in on me a little more. There's two things wrong with what happened after. She goes out to dinner with Larson. A reminder goes off on her phone saying that, oh, check in with his feelings. So first of all, the fact that you have to put a reminder on your phone about checking in with his feelings is ridiculous. Then the fact that when you called him, you said, I have a reminder set to tell me to check on your feelings. So how are your feelings? Lisa, you don't need to be in a relationship and you are using that man so that you can take your mind off of everything except what's going on with Lenny. You need to let that man go. Let him go about his business and stop making his life a living hell. Because all he is a rebound in a moment, in a time for you. That's it. That's a good man, Savannah. Let that good man go and go about his day and not have so much drama and get out of his face. Okay? Anything else I gotta say about that? I'm trying to see anything else because I got my notes here, y'all. No. Other than that, no. Then let's move on to, we're gonna do the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City really fast. Iconic. The girls did what they were supposed to do this season. You know, last season we thought was gonna be really, really, really good because of everything that was going on with Jen Shaw. So we thought, yes, the season is gonna be hitting. The whole situation with them being in a sprinter was classic, so damn good. But then when we got to the reunion, Jen Shaw refused to come, which is like, girl, you talked all this shit the whole season and then you don't want to come to the reunion and defend yourself, although there was nothing to defend because you're a liar, you're a fraud, you're a thief. That's why you're in jail and that's why you're going to be there for quite some time. I do feel bad for her sons though. But y'all came for it this season. Monica came through the gates and she stormed. She stormed, she came, she saw, she conquered, she frauded, she infiltrated, she did all of that. Star rookie of the entire franchise. When I'm telling you, no one has ever had a rookie year the way that Monica did. Nobody. Even Kenya. Kenya is a villain for sure, a top tier villain. But when I'm telling you, Monica takes the throne in Housewives history across all franchises for being a MVP fucking rookie. Okay? MVP rookie. Period. Across all cities. And that finale now that I think about it, people kept saying it was the best one. And I'm like, I don't know if it was the best one of all time. But it actually was when I thought about it. That was the best season finale across all franchises for the Real Housewives. Bravo and Bravo Andy, y'all are trifling for that because I'm gonna put allegedly, I believe that y'all knew exactly who Monica was. I do. Because as people want to point out, which is a fact, Monica didn't hit any of the other boxes of what it takes to be a housewife, but somehow she was allowed to be a housewife. Why is that? Why is that? Y'all knew exactly who she was. Y'all knew that eventually it was going to come out like she said, and that's why y'all got her on there. Now, do I think what Monica did was right? Absolutely not. I think it was foul. I think it was messed up. But do I think it was iconic? Sure do. Do I think she played the out of all of them women? Sure do. Was it one of the best scenes of TV I've ever seen in my life? Absolutely. Give Heather Gay a raise. The way she put that together, as somebody said, the white woman tears on the beach, the way that they all came together, production, editing, whoever put that last episode together, you deserve all your flowers. The way that was edited was perfect. The way the girls held it down that whole dinner and didn't say anything and made it seem like everything was cool till Heather dropped the bomb. Y'all all deserve y'all flowers. It gave me kind of when Real Housewives of Atlanta season 10 reunion, when all of the girls, like I put on somebody's comment, on somebody's video, when the girls formed like Voltron to get Kim Zolciak the fuck up out of here, that's what happened on the last episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It was amazing. The evidence, the receipt, the screenshots to show that you're Heather. Give it up for my girl. Y'all did that, and I cannot wait to see the reunion. I can't wait. I might have to review the reunion. I don't know. It was, girl, it was so good. And you want to know who I want to talk about? Tanisha. She didn't like all them features. Shout out to Sway Lee. Tanisha, you deserve to be smacked too. And Heather, if you still letting that girl do your hair, you deserve to be smacked. Now let's move on to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is what I'm really here for. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So, last episode I did was the first episode of the dinner that they had. So the second episode, so I watched everything since then. Denise Richards, you were so extremely disappointing. As somebody who really truly went up for you and was really excited that you was gonna pop your ass up back on the season, I am really disappointed in your presence this season. I do not want you back actually after seeing you. I don't know what type of alcohol or allegedly other substances that you was on, but you need to put it down. You looked a mess, you sounded a mess, you came off a mess. Then for you to try to come for Erica, but Erica ate your ass up. I'm talking about Erica ate you up and chewed you up and spit you out like you was nothing. You was not ready for her. You came for her and you wasn't ready for her. I thought when seeing the previews from the beginning of the season about Denise coming, I thought that Denise was going to come there and get on everybody's asses about how they treated her when it came to talking about her sleeping with Brandy. That's what I thought she was going to come on there and say. Because when she kept saying, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, that's what I thought she was talking. I thought she was going to say, Erica, you was one of the people, one of the main ringleaders along with Lisa Rinna, who was on the bandwagon on my ass about me allegedly sleeping with Brandy. And at that point, I'm like, okay, well, why is she only coming for Erica though? Because all of the girls in that season, except for Garcelle, did that. That should have been your comment. That should have been what you said when you came in, which is, I feel some type of way that all of y'all jumped on me that season about that. That should have been your beef. Who cares? We saw what happened about the whole thing about the threesome. And like they showed, you was talking about your husband's penis and sex stuff like that when your daughters was right next to you. So we're not going to put it all off on Erica. Erica ate her up, chewed her up. I was absolutely here for it. Okay? Absolutely here for it. But the main thing we're here to talk about is Dorit and Garcelle. Now, in my title, I'm going to have is Dorit a racist? Do I believe that Dorit, Kinsley is a racist? No. Do I know that Ramona Singer is a racist? Yes, because she's proven herself time and time again, right? But do I think that Dorit is? No. I think Dorit is what Garcelle tried to explain, which is like a lot of white people and a lot of white women. Because my thing is, Dorit, take what happened between even Kyle and Garcelle, right? Kyle did something similar to you too. She did something and she said something that maybe she didn't think was that offensive, but it was. So if y'all remember, maybe like last season or something like that, Garcelle had to sit down and have a similar conversation that she had with Dorit. She had to do it with Kyle because Kyle on the reunion went and said that Garcelle did not pay when she went to her charity, that Garcelle didn't pay, and she kind of threw that in her face, and Garcelle had to explain to her, and it comes to find out she did pay, and Garcelle had to explain to her, you don't do that to me. As a black woman, you don't do that to me, because we already are stereotyped as being cheap, being lazy, not paying, doing all of this stuff. So for you to go on this public platform and try to make it seem like I went out of my way to not pay you when I absolutely gave you the money is hurtful, and it's giving credence to a lot of stereotypes that's not true. And Kyle had to sit there and she had to eat it. Yummy, make the money, eat it. Make the pretty girls talk this shit. I'm sorry. Every time I say, shout out to Beyonce. Anyway, so Kyle had to eat that. Okay, she had to. So with this whole situation with Dorit and Garcelle, I don't know, at the dinner that they had, the same one that Erica was getting Denise Richards the fuck up out of here. There was a conversation earlier between Erica, Sutton, and Dorit. And during that conversation, Erica was like, oh, had brought up the fact that Garcelle had said the night before that Sutton had made out with her driver. So, they was like, oh my gosh, you made out with your driver, da 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 da. So then when all of the girls was sitting around, Bill Burr's wife, I like Bill Burr, I think he's funny, had brought up something about Sutton not feeling comfortable with the whole Magic Mike thing. I do think that Sutton is full of shit, and she's very much so a walking contradiction, which is half the time why I really can't stand her, right? But during that whole situation, Dorit pretty much was like, well, you're acting all prudish, but you made out with your driver. Now, do I think that she was saying that to embarrass Sutton? No, I think she was saying it to make a point. I do believe Dorit when she was saying, I was saying it to say, how is it that you're acting all prudish in this way, but then you also don't mind just making out with your driver? How? And people could say that that's not that you can't compare one to the other, but I see where she was going with it. And at that point in time, Garcelle jumps in and is like, oh, I don't like that you did that. I don't like that you did that. So then Dorit turns around to Garcelle after going back and forth with Sutton, right? And she did. Her and Sutton's going back and forth. Garcelle jumps in and says, I don't like that you did that. And then Dorit turns around and says, I don't like the fact that you're attacking me. So then Garcelle gets upset and she's like, nobody's attacking you. And don't say that, because that's gonna trigger me. Don't say that. Do not say that I'm attacking you. So they kind of go back and forth about that. Then they later have a dinner about that. Let me say this. Do I believe that Garcelle went home and cried for 2 days about the fact that Dorit said that she attacked her? No. I think Garcelle was putting 20 on 10 when she said that. Garcelle, you did not go home and cry for 2 days. Like, you did not go home and cry for 2 days because Dorit Kimsley said that you attacked her. You didn't. Did you feel annoyed by it? I believe that. Do I believe you was agitated by that? Absolutely. Do I believe that it bothered you? Yes. But do I think you cried? She said, I went to sleep crying. I woke up crying. I went to the beach and I cried. Girl, you didn't cry. You did not cry because of that. You done been through way too much stuff and people being way more blatant in their racism towards you to cry about that. You didn't fucking cry. Let it go. Like, my thing is, and this is what bothers me about that is, Garcelle, is that you took the oomph out of what you were saying because you lied about that. You did not go home and cry for 2 days. Anyway, but the point of the matter is, Dorit and Garcelle sit down to have a conversation about what happened. And Garcelle pretty much tells Dorit, like, I'm not saying that you're racist, but I do feel like you have a very, like, you're unconsciously, she didn't say this, but you're unconsciously a Karen. That's what you are. You say stuff that's very racially insensitive. You say like little words and microaggressions, as we like to call them, microaggressions towards me, and you may not notice that you do them, but I'm telling you that you do, and that's why it bothers me so much. So Dorit pretty much is like saying she doesn't get it, and then turns around and says, well, I'm Jewish. What does that as somebody said, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? What does that have to do with anything? You're Jewish, good for you. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? First of all, I didn't even know that Dorit was Jewish. And over here, girl, you are white. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about you being a white woman and having microaggressions towards a black woman and how she feels about that. This is not the time to play the oppression Olympics. This is not the time to say, oh, well, I would think that you get where I'm coming from too, because we're on the same thing. Y'all do not have to go through the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not. We're not going to do that. And I'm not here to play the oppression Olympics, but it's not the same thing. What you should have done, Dorit, is the same way that when Garcelle had sat down with Kyle and explained to her why you saying me as a black woman, I didn't pay, why that's dangerous and that's harmful. And she took that in and she said, I never looked at it that way. I'm sorry. That's all that you had to do. But you want to be right so badly that you didn't want to hear anything that Garcelle said. I wish that Garcelle would have gave more examples of what she meant, because the only one that they could really pull for her is the fact that maybe like a season or so ago when they was talking about race, how Dorit fucking off kilter, not reading the room, in her own bubble, don't get shit ass, was like, oh well, there's plenty of people of color who work in my house, and it's like you don't even catch, like she said, you don't even catch the shit that you saying that comes out your mouth. Then you played the classic, my mom's best friend is black. Girl, we not talking about that. Like Garcelle said at that table in that episode. So are you telling me the only black people that you have around you is the ones that work for you? Because you didn't even say that you know black people personally, and even if you did, that still does not matter. The same way how you said your mom's best friend was black, that your mom's best friend could be the blackest person in the world. That don't mean that you don't have microaggressions. It doesn't mean that you don't do things that come off racially insensitive, because you do. And all Garcelle was trying to explain to you, Dorit, is that a lot of the stuff that you do, it's very racially insensitive. And I know it's hard for a lot of these women to deal with this because they've never had to. And this is where it comes in. You girls, similar to Ebony K. Williams being on The Real Housewives of New York, which is why that show is no longer on, is that a lot of you white women have never had a black woman be in you guys' circle in the way that Garcelle is. So because of that, you've never actually had to think about the way that you talk about people of another race. You just kind of do it. You do it haphazardly. You don't think about the way that it affects them. You don't think about the way that it comes off. You don't think about the way that it can affect other people, because you've never had to. Right? You could literally live blissfully ignorant and be cool with that. So now that Garcelle is around more or is in your immediate circle, like she said, I'm not here to teach anybody anything or educate anybody, because you should do it yourself. But with a black woman now being in your circle, things that you've never thought about, and this is how I know that everybody online saying, oh, Garcelle's always making it about race. Actually, Garcelle does not always make it about race. She actually doesn't. And for y'all to keep trying to say that us as black viewers that watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we think that Garcelle can never be criticized about anything. Y'all ain't never watched my reviews before, because go back and my last review that I did on this show, I cursed Garcelle's ass the out, because I was tired of her defending Sutton all the damn time. It's not that Garcelle doesn't do anything wrong. Garcelle is messy as hell. She's always fucking trying to defend Sutton when Sutton needs to stand up for her own ass. Garcelle gets the business just like everybody else. She ain't no different. But, and again, she does not make everything about race. She could, but she doesn't. But when it applies, it applies. And the reason why that made sense in the moment, going back to what I said about when Dorit and Sutton was going back and forth, not once did you say that Sutton attacked you. You didn't say that. And I see that production tried to put in little clips when Dorit was like, oh, well, everybody says it's being attacked. It's not about everybody saying it. We're talking about how it's used when it comes to her. And what y'all did not show, production, is Dorit saying it to other people. And what y'all didn't show is that she got into a back and forth with Sutton and did not use that word. But the minute that Garcelle said one thing, that's the word that she used. That's what we're talking about. And that's what we mean when we say unconsciously. Because without you even thinking about it, there's certain words and things that y'all attribute to black people that y'all don't do to everybody else. Period. That's all that Garcelle was trying to say. And instead of sitting there, Dorit, and trying to play victim, all you had to do was sit there and say, you want to know what, Garcelle? That was like and you said it multiple times, but you wanted to keep going. You didn't need to do that. All you have to say was, Garcelle, you know what? I apologize very much so for triggering you like that. I did not mean for it to come off that way. I am very sorry. I'm going to do my best going forward to make sure that I'm very cognizant, that I'm going to do the work and make sure that I'm understanding the words that I'm using, the language that I'm using, to make sure that I'm being fair across the board and that you don't feel like you're being singled out or pointed out for certain things. And I apologize. And I'm sorry. Can we move forward? That's it. Acknowledge her feelings. Make sure that you understand that what she is saying is valid and move the hell on. But when you trying to argue back and forth with a black woman about her experience, or black person period, and try to tell them that what they're feeling is not valid, you're never going to get anywhere with them. Because you've never had to experience that. No, not as a Jewish person. You have not had to experience stuff like that. At all. So, do I think the RHOBH is racist? No. But do I think she's an unconscious Karen? Absolutely. And she needs to fix it expeditiously, in the words of T.I. But that's it, y'all. That's all I got for the Real Housewives updates. Y'all get in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think that Garcelle was reaching with this whole thing? Do y'all think that Garcelle always makes everything about race? Or do y'all think that the RHOBH does not pay attention and never had to think about the way that she speaks, never had to take into consideration the words that she uses, and that's why she's being an unconscious Karen? That's what I'm gonna name this video, actually. Unconscious Karen. Y'all get in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm out. Bye.